right, wonderful. Thank you for joining me for a 30-minute meditation. You'll want to find yourself in a comfortable seated or lying down position. So you can sit on a chair with both feet on the floor. You can sit on the floor. I like to sit with a little blanket under my butt. You can also lie down. And while you're getting situated, because I know it can take a while to find a comfortable way to sit or lie down, I will just explain what meditation is and is not, at least from my understanding. So I have my little Om Gnome here with me. And sometimes when we think about meditation, we think that we have to look like this guy, but you can actually look exactly as you are. There is no such thing as a good meditator or a bad meditator. There are simply people who meditate and people who do not. So for the sake of today, you're meditating. A common misconception about meditation is that when you enter into a meditative state, like your mind goes blank, right? Like you don't think about anything. Instead, I define meditation as compassionate mind control. So it's not an absence of thought. It's just as you notice your thoughts and emotions come up, you're going to notice them and let them pass. If at some point you find that your mind has kind of wandered down a rabbit hole, you followed a thought or a feeling, you're just going to gently return yourself back to your breath, back to my words, back to the present moment. And meditation, like anything else, takes some practice, right? So if you find that it's hard to concentrate or meditate or just go inward, that's really normal, right? Just like, I don't know, learning how to play basketball, the more you practice, the easier, the more familiar it becomes. So if you're not used to playing, if you're not used to meditating, same way you might not be used to playing basketball, just be gentle and easy with yourself. Okay, so finding yourself in a comfortable seated position. During the meditation, try to hold still, but if at any point you're finding that you're like very uncomfortable, like your foot has fallen asleep or something like that, feel free to gently move. Just notice the difference between moving because you're uncomfortable and you're distracted by your discomfort versus moving because like sitting still is just really uncomfortable. Okay, I'm now going to light a candle as a symbolic gesture that we are entering into a more intentional space. So we're being intentional with our thoughts, intentional with our breath, intentional with our body movements. You are welcome to close your eyes. If closing your eyes is distracting, you can keep your eyes open, but do like a soft fuzzy gaze just beyond the edge of your nose. Feel your sit bones on the floor if you're sitting up. Feel your head, shoulders, feet on the floor if you're lying down. Just allow yourself to get comfortable, dropping into a more relaxed state. Today's meditation is all about enjoying your own company and just having the opportunity to sit still with yourself. We live in a society that really rewards busyness and being active and busy all the time. But sometimes this becomes a distraction, and sometimes we end up staying busy all the time, not because it's helpful, but because we just don't want to sit with ourselves. So this meditation is an opportunity just to sit with yourself and enjoy your own company. And if that's a little uncomfortable for you, that's okay, right? It's only 30 minutes and yeah, it's all good. You're just meeting yourself wherever you are. Right away, as you settle into some stillness, into a more relaxed and intentional state, notice what thoughts might be popping up in your mind. Maybe it's like something that happened earlier today, or a task that you have to do after class. Maybe it's just a persistent feeling. Take a moment just to sit with whatever it is that's on your heart or on your mind. If you can feel it in your body, maybe locate where you feel it in your body, like your chest or your throat or your hips. And then take a moment to go deeper with this, persistent thought or feeling, like what is it actually about, right? Like, so, if you have to do a errand after class, sometimes I think what I'm fixating on is the errand, but when I really think about it, right, I'm fixating on like, oh, there's not enough time in the day, or there's always one other thing I have to do. And then I go a little bit deeper, and it's like, oh, actually, maybe I'm just nervous that if I don't get this done, then I'll disappoint someone. And then I go a little bit deeper, and then I'm like, oh, maybe what I think is about an errand is really about my own self-worth or proving, myself to others. So just taking a moment to kind of peel away layers at whatever it is that's on your heart or your mind. And one of the cool things about being human is, our emotions, our feelings are not voluntary. Our thoughts aren't always voluntary, but what we do with those thoughts or feeling very much is voluntary. So you have the choice right now just to set aside whatever it is that's on your heart or your mind. So this is an opportunity just to politely set that stuff aside just for the rest of your meditation, just so you can allow yourself to really enjoy your own company unencumbered. And if at any point during the meditation you find that thought or that worry or that care creeping back into your mind or your heart, you're just going to notice that and compassionately set it aside. Again, just returning to your breath, returning to your body, to my words, to the truth of the present moment. Breathing in and breathing out. So we can't always choose what happens to us. We can't always choose how we feel or where our mind wanders to. But once we notice what it is we're feeling, what it is we're thinking, we do have a choice just to set it aside. So just for now, just for a moment, as you settle into your body, as you settle into your breath and your meditation practice, take a moment to just really enjoy your own company. If it helps, imagine when you haven't seen your best friend in a month and you sit down for coffee together and you just catch up. You can think of this meditation like that, but it's a coffee date with yourself. If you hadn't seen yourself in a month, what questions might you ask? What might you be curious about? And think about greeting yourself just as you would a dear friend. So you can really imagine that you're sitting down with yourself, gazing at yourself from across the table, maybe a warm mug of tea or coffee in your hand, same way that you would gaze at a dear friend, just really enjoying that company. Is there anything urgent that you feel the need to share with yourself, like you would a dear friend? Maybe a life update or something you're working on or something you've let go of? Is there something you're really proud of, or maybe a funny joke that you just heard? Maybe some joy that you want to share with yourself, like you would a dear friend? We've all had the experience of sitting across from a friend and they start telling you something that they're ashamed of or feel guilty about, or, oh, I can't believe I did that or messed that up. And as we're receiving this information and looking at our dear friend, we see clearly, right, that, whatever they did or they think they did probably isn't that bad, or it's understandable, or, life moves on. We've all had that moment where we're kind of talking somebody else down and reassuring them. But sometimes we don't do that for ourselves. So if there's something recently that you've been feeling bad about, or you're embarrassed by or ashamed of, or you wish you'd done a little differently, this is an opportunity to talk to yourself about that as if you were hearing your best friend say that, right? With complete compassion and love and confidence. And particularly if you are thinking back to, a memory or experience that you're not proud of, or that you just wish had gone a little bit differently, notice what that feels like in your body. And maybe where you feel it in your body, like your abdomen or your shoulders. And then notice what it feels like, to hear those words of affirmation, like you would give to a dear friend, or like you've heard a dear friend give to you. What it feels like to be told that, you're forgiven, that you're loved, it wasn't that bad, it was understandable, right? Whatever that is, what does that feel like, and where do you feel it in your body? And then start to think about, when we are with someone that we hold dear, that we love, right? We find that person so interesting. Like when I'm with my dear friend, I'm just interested in their perspective on life and their life experiences, on, what they've shared with me. So now turn that towards yourself. What do you find like so interesting about your own life story? So miraculous or empowering or remarkable, right? Almost couldn't believe it if it hadn't happened to you. What do you find interesting about yourself? Remarkable about yourself, empowering about yourself? Notice if at any point your mind starts to wander or turn towards negative self-talk. And remember that we are practicing compassionate mind control, and compassion is an essential element of meditation. So if at any point you find that your mind is wandering or your mind is wandering to a negative space, you're going to practice compassionately bringing yourself back to your breath and back to these qualities that you love about yourself, right? The same way that you would love in a dear friend. Like, what do you find interesting about yourself? And maybe thinking back to all of those, events or stories that didn't quite make sense at the time, but now you can see it as part of a greater journey. Now, one word of caution, we do live in a TED Talk world. We live in a commercial world where sometimes when we hear people share their stories, whether it's in a TED Talk or a memoir or a commercial, whatever it is, it's very neatly wrapped up. And it appears that every single event in one's life leads to the next, leads to the next, that leads to this moment where, oh, I'm totally healed and everything is great. And we know this not to be true, even though memoirs and TED Talks are like useful. We are not perfectly wrapped up presence, right? So we're both finding this middle ground where we're not being negative in our thoughts and our reflections. We're being compassionate towards ourselves. But you also don't need to present this like you're presenting a PowerPoint, right? Some things in life are messy, and that's okay. Not everything has to fit neatly into a box. And again, when we meet up with a dear friend, we know that, right? We're not trying to prove something to them or vice versa. So notice also if you are, as you reflect on yourself, as you get really interested in who you are, what you bring to the table, what makes you interesting, unique, remarkable, empowering. Also notice if there's an element of trying to prove something or trying to, say everything succinctly, neatly, make it look pretty. And there's no need to do that, right? Life is messy. The same way that with our dear friends, we can admit the messiness of life with our friends. We can admit the messiness of life with ourselves here. Just enjoying our own company, the good, the bad, the ugly. But again, practicing this compassionately. So you're still being compassionate towards yourself as you sit and enjoy your own company, breathing in and breathing out. Sometimes when we review past actions or past thoughts, we feel the need to over-explain them, to justify them. As you sit with yourself as you would a dear friend, let go of any need to justify who you are, what you stand for, your actions, your lack of actions. Let go of any need to explain or make an excuse. And just allow yourself to sit or lie in your own power, right? You don't need to explain who you are or justify it. You're truly just sitting with yourself as you would a dear friend, enjoying your own company without the need to package yourself for someone else's consumption, without the need to prove yourself, right? You're just sitting and enjoying yourself, enjoying your own company, loving your time here as you're in your body, in your breath, in your Friday meditation. What are the things that you love about yourself? Not what other people tell you that they love about you, not the things that necessarily make you, good at your job or good as a spouse or a parent or a friend or a neighbor, a sibling. What are the things that you love about yourself? And again, there's no need to explain them. Sometimes the things that we love about ourselves are the things that other people find the least palatable, and that's okay. What are the things that you truly love about yourself? If you find your mind wandering or you're getting stuck, just returning to your thoughts, to your breath, to your body in real time and space. What do you love about yourself? What do you love about this company that you keep? And what are the things that you maybe once found hard to love that you now see a little or a lot differently? Showing yourself deep compassion, respect, truly being interested in what it is you have to say. And sometimes we even surprise ourselves with what comes to mind. Notice how it feels to sit with yourself and enjoy your own company, and maybe where you feel it in your body, like your hands or your neck or your knees. As you sit with yourself, enjoying your own company, start to relax through your toes, the arches of your feet, tops of your feet, heels and ankles. Let your feet be heavy. Soften through your calves and your shins, knees and thighs. Relax your glutes and your hips. Relax your abdomen, your ribs and your chest. Soften through the lower back, middle back. Relax the upper back, the shoulders, shoulder blades. Let your shoulders be heavy. Relax through your armpits and upper arms, elbows. Release any tension in your forearms. Relax your fingertips, your palms and knuckles, wrists. Let your hands be heavy. Let your feet be heavy. Let your arms and legs be heavy. Release any tension in your abdomen, your core, your spine or sides. Soften through your throat and neck, your chin. Relax your jaw. Relax your lips, mouth, and tongue. Soften the space between upper lip and nose. Relax through your nostrils, bridge of the nose, cheeks, and ears. Relaxing the outer and inner ears, backs of the ears. Let your earlobes be heavy. Soften through your temples, your brows, and the space between your eyebrows. Relax your forehead. Relax your hairline, scalp, back of the head, nape of the neck, each and every hair follicle. Notice where you might still be feeling tension in your body and just let it go with your exhale breath. Truly just enjoying your own company as you sit and breathe through your nose. We'll finish with a breathing exercise called I am thank you. As you inhale through your nose, you'll silently tell yourself I am. And as you exhale through your nose, as you inhale through your nose, you'll silently tell yourself I am, followed by a noun, a verb, an adjective like I am loved or I am breathing. And then as you exhale through your nose, you're going to silently say to yourself, thank you. I'll walk us through 3 rounds, and then I will give us a minute where you can do it on your own. So relaxing your body, seal your lips. As you inhale through your nose, silently repeat to yourself, I am meditating. Slowly exhale through your nose, thank you. Inhale through your nose, I am a daughter. Exhale through your nose, thank you. Inhale through your nose, I enjoy my own company. Exhale through your nose, thank you. And we'll just give us another minute to enjoy these I am thank you statements as you breathe in and out through your nose. We'll finish with 3 statements. On your next inhale, inhale through your nose, I am safe. Slowly exhale through your nose, thank you. Slowly inhale through your nose, I am worthy. Slowly exhale through your nose, thank you. Inhale through your nose, I am loved. Slowly exhale through your nose, thank you. Last one, just for fun, slowly inhale through your nose, I am the most interesting person in my own life story. Slowly exhale through your nose, thank you. You are the most interesting person in your life story. You are held, you are loved, you are cared for. And you have good, interesting things to share, not just with the world, but with yourself. Nothing to prove, right? But you're so loved, you're so worthy, and you're so interesting, just as you are. Feel this appreciation for yourself radiate from the crown of your head, down through your arms to your fingertips, radiating through your spine, your legs, to the tips of your toes. Breathing in and slowly breathing out. You're welcome to stay in this meditative space for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, I will count us down from 3, at which point you can open your eyes slowly or make any other gestures that tell your body that you're shifting focus. Take an inhale through your nose and slowly exhale through your nose for 3, 2, 1. I am going to blow out this candle as a symbolic gesture that our meditation space is ending. And I am letting the very real smoke clear the air as a reminder that when we meditate, when we go inward, we literally shift the room around us and our experience with the outside world as well as the inner world. Thank you all for joining.